Welcome back to an episode of Blunt Talk Podcast, Part 2. This is part 2 of last week's episode. If you guys missed it, halt, stop, and go watch it. I know you're looking at my face like, bitch, what you got going on? Like I said, this is a part 2, so a quick rundown. I'm doing my makeup because I'm learning how to do my makeup for a wedding I have coming up, and I don't want to spend money on it. And I'm just trying to figure out how to do some new things. I added some new products to the menu that I'm going to try. Again, go back and watch the last episode and you can see what I'm trying. So far, this is just the base. I did my eyebrows. I did my concealer under my eyes to brighten them. I did my color corrector to get those dark marks together because, babe, dark marks. And of course, I use that Fenty Beauty primer to make sure that I protect my pores before I do my makeup. Okay. Now we're about to get into the nitty gritty and play around with usual things. We have the skin tint and the good glory because I'm not using foundation in the summertime. You're bugging. But yeah, we're back with another episode. I hope you guys had an amazing, wonderful, fantastic motherfucking week. You thought we was popping it last episode, we can continue to pop it some more. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck. And I'm tired of acting like I do and trying to be demure. No, we're not doing that no more. I'm going to say what the fuck I want, how the fuck I want to. And again, if you feel like it's directed, lace that bitch up and put on the shoes since you want to be Cinderella so bad. Okay. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Now, you know, my favorite motherfucking segment, besides the blunt exchange, is definitely the what's on your timeline because that's like us scrolling through my timeline together and or just the thoughts on what I seen on my timeline that I want to share with y'all because you all know our For You pages are different. Now, this time is not really about what I seen on social media. No, 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 no. It is about what I seen on social media, but it's not a specific post. It's just something that always goes through my mind frequently. Okay. Why the hell did you guys take it so literal when Mark put on Facebook, "What's on your mind?" Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Please don't shoot the messenger. But like he was asking a question, but I truthfully don't think he was serious. And I'm only saying that because we need to be released from the shackles of the people that's just trying to get up from the engagement. When I mean to tell you, it has been nothing but pure chaos on my Facebook page for the last month. It has been nothing but fucking chaos. Okay. Besides the engagement getting to y'all heads, I am literally so sick and tired of seeing recycled memes made into fucking statuses. Okay. I am so tired of everyone trying to be a Facebook comedian and the motherfucking thing pieces. Like, not everything needs a motherfucking response. And hey, I know you guys are thinking like, bitch, is social media. But at the end of the day has got to end. Okay. Like, I have had it up to here. And it's just like, how do y'all even do it? Like, how do y'all even do it? And I'm asking how y'all even do it because me personally, I be so ready to write a status, right? And then by the time I'm done writing a status, and it don't even be no think piece for real. It just be me. Oh, this thought came in my head. Let me just put it out there for everyone to see. And then I get to typing and I'm like, this is lame. This is lame. Like, please move around and go do something else. And maybe that's why I'm not as popping as I need to be on socials. Maybe that's why. I completely forgot to put the concealer right here. Like I said, I wanted to see if I can make that dark spot go away. Well, we're gonna see how this goes with just two little squatches of the skin tint. I also want to say before I upgrade my skin tint, because I know you guys are probably like, if you guys are nosy like me and you pause the video and you looked at my motherfucking brand of the skin tint, I know you guys are like, bitch, why are you putting it on your face? Where was I at? Damn, where was I at? I thought someone was breaking into my house. The way that my dog started to bark, babe, I thought I was done for. I thought this was gonna be the last motherfucking episode y'all saw of me. Okay, give me a minute and let me get my life together so I can figure out what the hell y'all was talking about. Cause what? I know I said Think pieces. Oh, because once I start to make my own thing, I just take it off, and I'm like, you know what? It don't even matter no more. Like it don't even matter no more. So it's been pure wreck and pure craziness, you know. Um, and I just cannot believe it. I just cannot believe what I have been seeing on social media. It's quite literally stressing me out. And I'll get into more a little bit later during our bluntly exchange, but I just wanted to like tap that on the head. So like just to like do a summary real quick because I know we got interrupted. Although Mark said, "What's on your mind?" I promise you, babe, you don't have to write it. I promise you don't have to motherfucking tell us and we won't even be mad. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, this came across my desk, and so I decided I want to talk about it with y'all because I feel like people get things like misconstrued, and this is also going to fall into last episode too, because remember how I told you I was like withholding things, didn't know how to express myself. It was fucking weird. So this lady by the name of Toya Kent came out and spoke about how the host of Poor Minds, Lex P, we love Poor Minds over here. We are poor girlies. Played the side woman in a situation with her and her baby daddy. The lady and her baby daddy were dating for about 8 years, right? Sorry, that looked so ghetto. Don't mind me. Anyway, so the lady initiated the conversation by partaking in that Netflix documentary trend where people are like, Netflix called you for a documentary for blah blah blah. So she started the conversation by doing that trend, and then proceeded to follow up with a video, basically discussing what that entailed. Because people on TikTok are nosy, and they're gonna be like, "Ooh, what you said?" Huh, huh. And so she came back around, and she made like basically a video saying why she did that. Did I watch it? No. Did I see clips of it? Yes. Do I see why she did it? Yes. And I'll explain. Buckle in. It's about to get messy. So basically, Lex P was talking about on one of her episodes of Poor Minds how she just doesn't like how men can have side bitches and basically have no consequences. Like they can just have these side bitches, do whatever they want to do, and then move on with their life. While the woman is stuck picking up the pieces of all the lies, deceit, the hurt, the fuckery, right? And during that conversation, obviously more was said. So I really want y'all to see and listen to their episode. I just I'm not going to give more context because we really have to start doing the due diligence and doing the research for ourselves. So anyways, back on scene. So the lady felt triggered because she was like, "Bitch, in the situation that we shared, you were exactly what you're saying that you don't like. Essentially, like you were basically saying how well you were essentially that other lady in the situation that is with me and my baby daddy." And so Lex basically came back and was just on some shit like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know about you. I didn't know about the situation. I'm hurt as well. And I'm sorry that we had to do that. But that's just not really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I don't even talk to that person no more. And second of all, it's just like, I didn't know. So there's not much more of a sorry someone can give, right? So, my take on that and this is not gonna be all over the place, but it is gonna go in a different way because I'm not talking about the whole side bitch situation. Go back and watch part 1 of this episode, and you will sort of kinda get the gist on how I feel about those conversations, especially if you go to said person as woman to woman. Like, I'm just not for that shit. Especially it's about how you do it. And this was not the way to address a situation. Even if you're still hurting about a situation, it's not okay to do what you did. But we know why that was done because these bitches be watching. Whatever. Anyways, so one thing that I really want people to understand is yes, people may have some contradictory paths, right? People may have statements that they make that is contradictory to their actions previously when they were younger. Not excusing anyone's actions, not excusing anyone's behaviors, not saying that people should like, forgive, but, like, not really forgive, but not really stand on shit in a way, I guess. What I'm trying to say is people can outgrow a previous view or a previous action. We like to hold people accountable. I don't wanna say, like, too much, but we like to hold people accountable and forgetting that we are all changing, and we are all growing, and we are all evolving. Like, we're forgetting that that is happening, and that does happen, like, as you age. Like, it's okay to make those changes and to want different things for yourself, or not even want different things for yourself, but it's, like, okay to not behave in a way that you once did. It doesn't make you a bad person. And so for her to be Yes, being triggered is understandable because you guys had a past, you guys experienced something together, and her view is not how she carried herself before. But also, she was in a different state, a different mindset, and essentially a different form back when that happened. I'm not making excuses, I'm only speaking for myself, hypothetically or not. So, I feel like her trying to ostracize her for something that happened in the past is kinda crazy. Also, just because she voiced her opinion doesn't mean she didn't or doesn't still feel some type of way about her reality. One thing that I know, because I watch the show, I don't wanna say, like, I'm an avid show watcher, but, like, sorry, my salon pot is showing because I'm getting older, and quite literally sitting at that desk for 9 to 5, sometimes later for that overtime, is tearing my motherfucking shoulders apart. I'm falling apart at the seams in case anyone cares, but I digress. Um, yeah, so it doesn't mean that she doesn't feel type of way about her reality. From what I heard from this situation, she actually went to therapy about this. Oh, this is my first time trying to bring my cheekbones out, and I don't think I did it right. So we're just gonna do something like this and hope for the best. Okay. I don't know whatever that did, but we gonna see at the end when I take a picture. Um, sorry, y'all. I'm just girl. Everything pinga. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, and also this is something that I want to touch upon because this is something that I battled as an early podcaster. Again, when I was dealing with talking time with Randy, and the city was on my back and was listening to me and how I was interpreting situations. As a podcaster, I'm not saying we're going to lie, but sometimes there are situations where we can come off as hypocritical where sometimes after we process certain situations, we realize that we should have carried it a different way, and sometimes it could come off, like I said, as hypocritical. Like I said, I have situations where people perceive my situation a certain way. However, people tend to forget that perception is not the truth. In hindsight, it's that person's truth, and in reality, there's three sides to every story, which happens to be his, hers, and the truth. And sometimes we will never know. Not gonna lie, that shadow kinda eat. That pause, hold that thought, 'cause I know I was just cooking, but we gotta bear with me, I'm just a girl. 'Cause everything pinga. But yeah, but like I said, in hindsight, that's their truth, and I think people forget that. Like, perception is your reality, it's not the reality, and I feel like her coming to social media, talking about that was just her perception and possibly her venting, especially because sometimes when you're hurt by somebody, you want them to feel that hurt too. So if you're still getting over a situation and you see everyone is like la dee, la dum, having a fucking ball and you're miserable, is most definitely gonna piss you off. So I don't fault her for that. It's just there's different ways to handle the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to do all of that all the time. And that's okay. Um, I like how Lex talked about it and confronted it. and wasn't on no mean girl shit. She just simply she did a simple 1-2 and left it as that. And I feel like that's exactly how it needs to be. Okay? I just wanted to talk about that because it's very important. It is very important that people do not take people's perceptions as the reality of a situation because it's never the case. Never the case. That's never the situation. That's never how it's always going to be. And the quicker people learn that, I feel like it will be better and um it will save for a lot more situations like this to happen. But it's social media, so shit like that is always going to happen, quite literally. So, yeah. Now, we're about to get into the bluntly exchange because we need to we need to dive into some things like the blunt exchange, not the bluntly exchange. I'm fucking up. But I'm just so excited to talk about this because I feel like it's really important that we talk about this. So, for the blunt exchange, I just want to do a PSA, okay? And I know it's never going to happen, but I feel like this PSA is necessary along with the PSA of the Mark asks us what's on our mind, but he really didn't want us to type it, right? So, I just want in the year of 2026, going into 2027, I want us to just not talk about relationships on social media anymore. I cannot take it anymore. It is driving me crazy. And I know there is podcasts behind that. And I'm not saying that they need to go away because I feel like if you have the right professionals to talk and help people with their questions professionally regarding relationships, it could be a beautiful thing. But for regular people to be having these conversations literally, quite literally frightens me. And I say it frightens me because, again, with this perception conversation, we tend to forget that people are speaking through their experiences, their preferences, and their deal breakers. So it's not law. It's not law. And I feel like the discourse comes in when it comes to relationships conversations is because everyone feels like how they handle their relationships is the right way, right? And it's the right way for you because that's what you want or that's what ooh, I almost fucked up, y'all. Y'all caught me. I almost wiped the whole shit off. But is the perception to them. It's not law, it's not Bible, it's not verbatim how it's supposed to go. It's that person going through their experiences, experiencing something that they didn't like, and then putting it into their code book for how they're going to move on into the next situation. Aside from that, which is perception, preferences, deal breakers, and personal experiences, people also have different definitions of things, right? And the one thing that I want to highlight when I mean different definitions, because we literally have Webster, but Webster definitions, apparently it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because people are going to make their own definitions or have their own interpretations of things, right? That's another thing. Interpretations, reading comprehension, because you have to interpret something, you got to read it. So you're going to go read the definition, interpret that your own way, flip it down and spin it and dump it backwards, right? So because of people having those different things, it makes the conversation hard to have. Aside from people not knowing how to agree to disagree in a healthily way. Like we can all have our own opinions, but we don't have to get disrespectful when someone voices that opinion, right? So I want to give an example. People have their own definition of what effort is. And I know you guys are like, "What? Bitch, there's only one definition of effort." You would think there's levels to effort for sure. Some people require maximum levels of effort. Some people require the bare minimum levels of effort. But nonetheless, people still as a whole require a certain amount of effort. And that really put it in perspective when I was doom scrolling on Facebook and there was a conversation that was going on in my city that I'm pretty sure sprinkled into other people's cities. But this conversation was going on based upon the first date expectation. I think I brought that up too much. I did bring them up too much, but I didn't bring. Ugh, shit. Anyways, um, so it it was the first date conversation where some girl basically put her preference about what she wants and what she perceives an acceptable first date, and it tore my city to fucking shreds. Everyone was throwing in their 2 cents about why what she wanted wasn't wrong, but wasn't a mindset of a monetary mindset, right? Where they equated what she wanted to money. And I don't think that's what she was talking about. She was talking about the effort. But because we live in such a money driven society and where people think that everything has to do with money because of how these Instagram models are treated by their little yeah and everything, it always stems back to that financial conversation. When most people gathered from that conversation, it's about the effort you put into it. There's certain places that you would go to get to know someone versus another place when you already know somebody. And that's because of a certain vibe and setting you're looking for. You can't expect to go into a hoopla environment and get to know the person that you're interested in, or you can. So, because she voiced how she felt about a particular restaurant, she got torn to shreds for days. Like people were going in for days. And it really made me want to just say, like, hey, maybe you guys should like stop talking about relationships or dating experiences or preferences. I know it's not going to happen, but we shouldn't even do it because not everyone is going to agree. You got some people who's okay with sitting in the car. You got some people who's okay with being wined and dined. You got some people who are okay with not doing anything as long as they're with their person. Neither person is wrong at all. Like, neither person is wrong. It's everyone's preference and what they want and what they see for themselves. And like, as I was watching that Discord go on, I really realized two things. And it's two things that I always talk about. People really cannot agree to disagree for nothing. People cannot have healthy conversations for nothing. And when people feel like you are against them, they will try to take your fucking head off. And it's so, sorry about that. Had to get my brush. And it's so not okay. Like, that's so not okay. Like, people should be able to voice their opinions and people should be able to feel comfortable doing so. And also, based on that conversation, I want to add my 2 cents in, but I wasn't going to do it on social media. I'm going to do it on my platform because I feel like this is something that we do need to talk about. This is just a message for all my little people, little women that's growing up and finding their womanhood and finding the things that they like and finding the things that they don't like. Um, Things are going to change. What you will accept at 20, you're not going to accept when you're 30. And I'll give you an example. With that conversation about dating, right? That was had on that Facebook post or with people sharing. There were girls saying that they were okay with just being in the car with their person, and that's that. They didn't need all the rigmarole. When I was 20, that is how I felt. When I was in my 20s, I was such a, as long as I'm around my man ass girl, like I just wanted to be around the person that I was with. I just wanted to hang out with them. I didn't care if we were in the car sitting at McDonald's smoking blunt. I did not care. I just wanted to be in the presence of my king at that time. And then once I started getting older and I started wanting, well, not wanting more, but I started enjoying this process, like putting on your makeup and getting dressed and put on your heels and doing your hair and put on your smell good. Once I started to get into that grind, I was like, sitting around, it's not okay. It's not bad. It's just not what I want to do. I want to be able to go put on my cute little outfit, go put on my heels, and go show the world why I am the sexiest person and why my man is the sexiest person and why we are the sexiest people and no one's fucking with us. I want to feel like that grown and sexy vibe. And that's just not for dating for me. Like I'm at that point where that's with all events and activities, right? For my birthday, I went to a DJ set where it had a theme. It was like you need to dress in this color and just come presentable. And that was fun for me because it's not fun all the time just wearing jeans and putting on a shirt and putting on some sneakers. Like sometimes I want to feel like I'm that good. I want to feel like I'm that big. You feel me? And so your preferences, your likes and your dislikes change. And that goes through experiences. So I can expect a younger person who's just now experiencing life. I just have to say, I tried something different. I did the powder on top of the blush. And although I'm a blush girly, I like how that looks a little bit. Oh shit. But I am going to add a little bit more blush just to bring it back out, pop it back out, drop it like it's hot. You feel me? Because you know everything pink, right? That, that looked good. Sorry, y'all. I just found my method to the makeup for the wedding, and I'm so excited. And I'm so excited. Okay, backtrack. Let me get back. So now that we're gonna do our lip combo now, and I'm gonna try a color. This is a smooth plum. Let's see what this is hitting for. I just be doing shit. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So yeah, now that I'm 30, things change and I want different things for myself. And so I can't expect someone, a younger girl who's just now experiencing life and doing all the things that I once did to know that and to hone in on that. I can't expect that from them. Their experiences are going to shape what their wants and dislikes are, whether it's now or whether it's later. That's just going to happen for them. And we can't ostracize people for that. You know, we can't continue to damn people for the life that they're choosing to live. Like these people are choosing to live their life this way. It should not bother anybody. One thing that I had to learn, and this comes from friendships, family relationships, we can't want more or better for people if they don't want more or better for themselves. So people getting mad at people being content with the bare minimum in their eyes by their definition is redundant because that's what they want. That's their life. That's how they're choosing to live it. And people that are getting mad for someone having higher standards, if you will, by their definition, is redundant because what's happening and coming out of their pockets is not coming out of your pockets, so it shouldn't fucking matter. And so I just really think those type of relationship conversations and dating conversations just should not be a thing anymore in 2026 because it's just crazy and it gets crazy. Like there was no reason why that conversation was going on for what I feel like was a week. It had the people going. The people were pissed. Okay? Everybody was pissed. Everybody had something to say. There was like mad shares on it. Put down in the comments if you think I'm tripping. Put down in the comments if you see my point of view. Do you guys want relationship conversations to continue in 2026? Okay, come through, plum lip liner. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, come through, color. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Wedding color. Okay. Okay. I can't do the color, y'all. I'm over here bullshit. I can't do that color. Let's add some brown on top of it. It don't look bad, but it's not my cup of tea. I'm not a color girly. Oh, these are two different pencils I got. Okay, let's see which one I like better. Oh, yeah. This is also very light, and I wanted something darker. It doesn't look bad on camera, but let's let me give y'all a close up. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah. We like it. Back to the relationship conversation. I'm sorry, I had to finish my makeup because it was just it was eating too bad. I was getting distracted. Okay. Like I literally outdid myself and I love this look and I love my lip and I love everything about it. But back to the dating conversation. When it comes to perception, it also comes to what we've seen our parents go through. So when you see people say that, not even people, but like just speaking for me, I watched my mom get up and get cute and get sexy and put on her little heels and go out with her man. And they had date nights. I watched my dad and his wife religiously have date nights every singular Friday. I didn't see them just going to fast food restaurants. They were going to restaurants, they were going to concerts, they were going to jazz things. They were doing all of the things. And so because I see my parents have that lifestyle, me as a little girl, I always wanted that. So I knew when I was growing up, I want different things. I'm a comedy show girl. I'm a dinner girly. I'm a museum girly. I'm one of those girls. Club girly too, but we don't even have to go there all the time. But I like to create experiences and do things that sometimes our people don't think about. And so because I've had those experiences and seeing my parents, I expect nothing less for myself. And I think that's what people are forgetting is again, it goes through those personal experiences, what you personally experience and what you see in your village around you experience. So I want us to all keep that in mind when we're being sassy on the socials. Now, the last thing that I want to get into is the spark effect. Before we end the show for the night, the spark effect is very fitting. And it is your brain can change your memories over time. Every time you remember something, your brain slightly alters it. That's very important because that goes back into the first topic with that Lex P and Toya Kent lady. People tend for people tend to forget that perception is not the truth. It's how you're perceiving it. It's how you're viewing and interpreting something. And now when it comes to your memories, that's what it is. It's like your brain is going to recollect what it wants and leave the pieces out that it doesn't want. Once we understand that, we'll be a better place. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this part two. Yes, we did a part one and we did a part two. Make sure you catch up and stay tuned because we have another motherfucking episode coming next week. Because, like I said, I'm on that ad and I'm not letting up. Bye.